Welcome to Orinda Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi. I'm your host Orinda, and today I'd like to talk about the expectations of Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Star Trek Picard Season 2, Star Trek Prodigy, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds of a fan point of view. I will do this with my good friend Mark Seven, who is a mega fan of Star Trek, but also he is a regular guest on this podcast. People who know me know that I'm a big Star Trek fan too, and I really like to talk about Star Trek. Hello, Mark. Nice talking to you again.
Hello, hello, Rinda. It's very nice to be here again, challenging the future, right?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Let's start with Star Trek Discovery Season 4. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I have noticed when I saw the first trailer of it, it was they have already a new uniform again, but I must say I like this uniform more than the other two.
Yes, they changed again. They are all for innovations, and I believe that new uniform also says that the Discovery spent some time after winning the last enemy and get fully integrated to the new Starfleet. So this uniform also says some time was passed after that, after and for their first mission, gathering some of the new discovered dilithium crystals. So it's a promising step, and I hope the cosplayers don't get too furious about that.
Well, I saw already that this uniform is already for sale for cosplay, so yeah, maybe I'm gonna get one too. But
I agree, and I may do that too. And about speaking in uniforms, I see the uniforms that Captain Pike used
the
in the
new one
Discovery.
on
Yes,
Discovery,
they have a new one too.
yeah.
They changed the uniform again, so here we go.
Well, I think they did that because Strange New World is a complete new Star Trek series. So I think because it is so new, they. But it is similar from the Discovery Season 1 in a way.
Not completely. The neck piece is changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least it's what I could see in the picture. I don't. I'm not used to that because if you remember, we have a first uniform and a second uniform in the next generation, and then that uniform was used in principle with Deep Space Nine, and that changed to a new uniform, and that uniform was used in Voyager, and that uniform wasn't changed to the end of the series, and then came a first contact uniform, and then Deep Space Nine used that too, and we saw some of those uniforms in the last episode of Voyager. We had some continuing in uniforms there, and since Discovery we don't have peace in uniforms. So
No, I think some of the not only the cosplays but also the fans are, I don't want someone to say annoyed by it, but it is like get a grip on it in a way. But changing the uniform from the first season and then what they are now, because they are in the future now, that is a good change in a way.
yes, that is comprehensible, but I hope it's stopped that way. I
I
hope
hope so too,
it
but
creates some tradition.
yeah, it is like well, the uniforms from season 4 and also a little bit of season 3 already, but I don't like the uniforms from season 3. This uniforms from season 4 is like a little combi of the old movie with the TOS crew. Oh, which one was it? Not the Rod of Khan, or was it Rod of Khan? Well,
Yep.
um, you know, I think what I mean, but it's I hope they are sticking with this a little bit.
Me too.
Although I have a hard hat on it that they will.
Yeah. I love the improvements of the technology in the third season. I love that com badge,
Mm.
tricorder badge, transporter badge, everything badge. It's funny, funny, very, very lovely. And the whole technology things, the whole new things, the programmable matter. I see. I saw that. It's fantastic. It's a future of the future. It's dreaming over the dream. It's Star Trek in the roots, and people still say that Discovery is not Star Trek. Ha!
No, but it cost me a little bit of time to get used to Discovery, and I must say, now they are in the future and starting a second season in the future in a way. I hope they can get the storyline a little bit better in the way of okay, we're stranding now in the future and we're making the best of it.
Well, I can assure you, we will be in good hands. Berman is now captain, right?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. What do you think about that?
I think it's about time. We saw her career, we saw all her drama, and we saw her life, uh, educated like a Vulcan, all for started discovering herself as a human again. Not if no, I'm not saying she forgot that, but she embraced it too much the Vulcan lifestyle, and now she took the best of both worlds. Let's see what kind of captain it results.
Yeah, I'm very curious how the writers gonna write the whole storyline for the Discovery, and I was also thinking of are we going to see Saru back and Nam back and who else we left for that part? But yeah, what do you think?
Well, we don't have the luxury to have a trailer yet, but we know that Saru is there because the actor is there. He celebrated with us with the started of the filming and the end of the filming too. So about that, I am optimistic. But to everything else, we don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what storyline they are going to have. There is one thing else. Do you think we're gonna see Giorgio, Emperor Giorgio back, or we'll
I don't
see?
think so. I don't think so. They are working hard to make the possibility of the 31 section series to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the portal of the time portal sent her to somewhere, someplace new, sometime near to the Captain Pike. He in this time they can deal better with the section 31 in these beginnings. So I believe so. I believe that, and not to mention that the mirror universe were closer to our universe in this time, so it's safer for her. So in Discovery we will not see, but I'm eager to see this Section 31 series too. I still believe that Section 31 is a very big mistake from Deep Space Nine, that we need to carry on with the consequences of that until today. And I don't think Gene Roddenberry will agree with that, but here we are.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. Um, because they have so much new series going on,
Yeah,
there is no really good sign of the timelines because one I thought Strange New Worlds will be canon, but I can't be sure. But it's yeah, it's really confusing in how in what timeline they want to make the new series.
Well, remember that nothing is canon until goes to screen. If it's a book, it may be a funny book, but it may not be canon. If it's comics, like we have proof of that with Star Trek Countdown, uh, with 2009 movie, it was
Hmm.
com completely ignored as canon. It's not canon. Whatever goes to screen is canon. So uh, we can just wait what it's coming to be.
So there is in the last season of Discovery, we had um, met Gray and Adira, and they almost seems like to be a family with Colbert and Stamets. What are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts about that, they started everything about inclusion of people, of preferences, of and they continued with that. They seems to be to have a plan for that, so they are growing with that plan. I wish them success with their objectives, but I prefer to keep being an explorer.
Do you think that there will be more, that we're gonna see more about this relationship of those four? Cause I must say it was very cute to see how fatherly Colbert and Stamets were of those two. But yeah, who knows? They're gonna be the new family settings for Star Trek in the future.
Yeah, I can't imagine now what is their plans about that. And I am quite sure they will continue because they started and they amplified this plan with more characters and let them do, let them be.
So we already have mentioned the new technology. What are
Yes,
your expectations, or do you think there will be more new technology in this season?
I think they will not push the luck they have. I think they will be new discoveries. I think there will be new planets to discover since we have a lot of planets that are not in the Federation anymore. They may have their own evolution technological too, so we can learn about that and discover everything more. So these 900 years in the future will not will not anymore surprise the crew of the Discovery, but the whole Federation.
Yeah. So you already mentioned new planets. Do you think we gonna see that the Discovery will travel to new planets and uh, discover and meet new aliens?
I'm not sure. There are 50-50 possibilities about that. We can visit old planets that we used to be friends and they left Federation after the burn, and we will see how they are now. We will have lots of fan services about that, but we are completely open. It's a big galaxy. There must be now some civilizations that was not flying into space 900 years ago. Maybe they have evolved in a um, new faster than light speeds. New technologies. May we have a great new opportunities, new possibilities about that.
The head of the new Federation, if I can say it like that.
We don't quite reach them, right? Well, we don't know them. We only know the admiral
Yeah.
who who used it to protect to protect mummified secrets before, and now he drives the Starfleet, and who knows about the Federation? We will see the Federation being rebuilt among the series. Maybe that is the main story about that.
Well, in one way, I hope so because it's a totally different Federation 900 years after that, and that was one of my questions too. Do you think that we still gonna see more of the new federations and how they are in? Because if we see in um, at Burnham as well, uh, if she is alone with Booker, she becomes some kind of a space pirate, I think. And
Okay.
now she's back on the Discovery, and what do was funny was that she was looking for that one punchline, but I think they didn't quite had that yet in season 3. But I'm very curious how what kind of a captain Burnham will be.
You and everyone. She will be spectacular because she saved the universe. She saved everyone in the first season, the second season, in the third season, and she will be very heroic in the next season because she now has the power. But as the Chinese used to say, if you want to know someone, give him power. What can I say? We now will know the complete personality and complete sides of our captain because she have all the power, right? So these are all our expectations about that. We also will have a new federation that was remounting after so long, and that means we will have new friends and new enemies too. Who knows? Only the writers knows so far.
Okay, let's finish this part about Discovery season 4. Is there something you
Mhm.
like to add
I like to add.
of this
Well,
piece of Discovery?
well, Discovery will start in 60 days. I wish I could have, I could accelerate the time to go there. So I, I wish I could add these 60 days to be faster. That's all.
And that's one thing I really think is a little bit annoyed for fans because Star Trek is on so many streaming sites and so different streaming sites um, like I said, Discovery is on Netflix.
Mhm.
Picard is on Amazon Prime. You have Prodigy that's gonna be on Nickelodeon. So yeah, you just need to have that part of streaming to watch it. And I know it is a little bit more better than if you have Paramount Plus, but like here in the UK, it's not really available here as on Paramount Plus. So yeah, I think that very is a little bit annoying.
I, 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 I agree with you, and I hope they solve that problem, at least making all available in Paramount Plus, for instance, to for one simple reason, to avoid piracy. Okay, they need to be these kind of shows available to people, and of course they need money, and they found this new way to get it. So I hope they are successful in their plans, and we fans do not end without what we love the most.
So we're going to start now. It's the part of Star Trek Picard season 2. What do you think
Mm.
about the first trailer?
Yeah, we have for Picard we have a trailer that makes us know how complicated this story is. So we have a new Back to the Future style story. Picard is known to be a film divided in 10 parts. So we will have 10 chances to see how much Q can break the universe.
Well, talking about Q, um, I had a thought yesterday. If
Mhm.
Q is that a much big part again of Picard, wouldn't be Q transforming Picard back in a human?
It will be possible for Q. It will be interesting for Picard, but we are still dealing with the unknown here. I really don't know why Q treats Picard like nothing have happened, and I believe they will make a lot of jokes about that.
I think
If
it's
we know Q, we know he will mention everything to humiliate Picard about.
yeah, I think nothing has changed between them. The only weird thing was a little bit if he is the Q, why is he has been a little bit older?
Oh, well, he adapted himself to our image just in the
Hmm.
first episode. The first time we saw his form, it was a pearl with three head of three snake heads over it, and then smoke behind. Something very weird. But then he changed it to a military officer and to a human in every parts of our bad parts of our story. And then he always appears in the Starfleet uniform. And now he appears in an old Earth uh, outfit. So he always follows Picard in the way that Picard can't understand what he's saying.
There is a one other scene in the trailer as well. We saw 7 of 9 without the Borg implants.
Yeah, she will. I believe she was translated to that part in time. Maybe she's not part of the team when Q breaks the time. So they are spreaded in the past, and only the very capable leadership of Picard can reunite everyone again. That will be a very interesting part to see.
Yeah, what I also find interesting is they are going to go for time traveling. I must say, I'm not a really big fan of time traveling,
Mhm.
but and what I am very afraid of is that they, because they are going to go time traveling, I'm afraid that they're going to ruin the whole timeline of that we know as Star Trek.
Here we go again. That's a possibility. And I hope they will not create an alternative timeline. They 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 had a so hard time to rebuild the normal one after J.J. Abrams three movies, and they are leaving them be, and our timeline is continuing. Picard is the proof of that. But well, everyone goes with some expectations when someone travels in time. But it's skill we're talking about. You can travel time, you can go there, go back, and when everything ends, everything is exactly as it was when Q started to modify everything. So do you, if you remember, All Good Things episode, the two last one episodes from Star Trek Next Generation, you see the same thing. Time was a mess with three starships going inside a space anomaly, and many things happened. Riker was old, and Diana Troy died, etc., etc., and everything was back again, except one only thing, the pheromonic syndrome that Picard suffered and ended dying with that. That was a nice touch. But as you see, Q every time. puts everything where it was before it started. He was at least honest about that.
We also know that Guinan is coming back. What role do you think Guinan will have in all this?
I don't understand the question.
Guinan is coming back in the series, and
Ah, yes.
what do you think? What her role will be in this all?
I think I think Picard can use her to face the powers of the cube. If this challenger is too hard for mankind to hold, if Q had changed his idea about our judgment, I believe Guinan can be the only person who can face him, and Picard knows that. Well, of course, it's a speculation. I'm not sure about that. Maybe she's old too, and we can see her death. We don't know. We will ever never know until uh, next year, starting in February, I hope.
There was one thing else I was thinking of. Do you think that we will see the Riker Troy family back?
No, they will not fit on this story, but maybe if this, we can see them at the first episode when Picard goes back as an admiral, uh, when Q changed the Starfleet. I saw him in a uniform again. Right?
Hmm.
So we don't know if it's a recent past history of the new present of Picard. We don't know. All we know is that the Starfleet changed, and the uniform seems to be more aggressive. So it's very similar to what happened in the yesterday's Enterprise episode when prolonged war against the Klingons made made Starfleet extra militarized. So there are so many things we need to wait until we understand what is happening. Trailers can be so illusional for us. So I can't wait. We just need to wait. Of course, there are also scenes with Seven of Nine and Rafi. They are in 2021 year, driving a car. So you see,
Hmm.
this time travel is very messy. They will be here in our time.
So what I also was wondering, how would the old cast of the Enterprise D react on that Picard is a synth now? Or do you
Well,
think Q will bring him back as a human?
don't have any data to. We don't have even data, and we don't have any data to make a correct answer to that question for now. But we know that the whole actors, the whole crew of the Enterprise, are very close friends. Of course, they would love the chance to be together and be seen together again, like Riker and Troy did. But everything will wait for its chance. Let's see what happens. We are waiting for that. But for now, we can't give any answer about that.
Do you think there also will be a episode, like maybe in one of the first episodes, that they will be back at Mars with the synth and what happened after that?
I don't think so because uh, they will be a struggle to fix the time. So if time will be broken, even that recent past against the Vashtar, they did never happen. Or why Picard will be in this time bubble with Q charade, nothing from the first season really matters, except the state of Picard to be an android. So we have even that to see. we saw a scene with Soji uh, apparently living completely like a human and without without any difference about that. She lives in that past like she always were there. So we don't know anything. That trailer says very little about that. We need more information. We need to start to see. We need 60 days. No, 60 days is for discovery. We need at least 6 months to start visualizing that.
I hear somebody's already counting down for that.
I I make it my function in my group. I always do the counting.
Well, I think we have done our part with our expectations for Star Trek Picard Season 2.
Hmm.
Is there something you'd like to add on this piece?
I don't no, I don't have anything because we don't have anything else. All we have is a trailer and very good hopes, and we know that the filming is ended and everybody is fine. Everybody got vaccinated, everybody worked nicely. We are all happy. They are happy with the yes. Can you imagine? They have the plans and authorizations for a third season. That means the second season was watched now and judged, and everybody who saw it liked it very much.
Yeah, I must say, although time traveling is not my favorite thing, I'm very curious how the story develops with the whole Picard crew, etc.
Oh, stay calm because whenever the Kirk crew travel in the time, the Picard crew travel in the time, they all came back fine. So I can't say the same for the J.J. Abrams crew, but I am very optimistic about the results of this new Picard's travel.
Mm, okay, that's good. Let's start talking about the Star Trek prodigy.
Yep.
Um, did you have seen the trailer?
Yeah, I can't lose anything they say about the trailers about Star Trek around the world. I love it, this new trailer. I love that the part they are in a junkyard finding a starship. Can you imagine that?
It reminds me a little bit of in the the last movie of J.J. Abrams, when they were on that planet and Jola had that the USS Franklin.
Ah, yes, yes, the last movie. But it was not a junkyard. Uh, it was a lost ship, but not there to be commercialized, not there to be, uh, not to be someone's. In this prodigy, we see the owner of the ship, of the junkyard, uh, that could not activate the ship. He never knew what is what that ship is from or how to use it. Maybe it's too old. Maybe maybe there is so many things to discover about that ship. I believe it's very old and it was sent to help Voyager or to help anyone needed Voyager. That's why they use it the um, Janeway hologram, and I believe they are far in the future from Starfleet now. They have a kind of propulsion that is far way faster than warp drive. They have a third nacelle going from behind, and then everything helping on that ship. It's fantastic. The new technology is very fantastic. I believe I needed to believe that That ship it's 100 years from the future from TNG time.
Okay.
So we will now act in uh, 900 years beyond with Discovery, and we can easily be 300 years beyond with that ship in Prodigy.
We know that Janeway is coming back, but at the last STLV, Star Trek Las Vegas, Robert
Mhm.
Beltran, who played Chakotay, mentioned it that he will also be back in Prodigy. How, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I can imagine that Janeway can use the hologram of Janeway can use the hologram of Chakotay to teach the kids how how some differences in command can happen. And she and Chakotay had many fascinating discussions about how leadership should work. It will be nice. This is the way I can imagine that Robert Bertrand can get in the series because if Janeway is dead long time ago, to be now just a hologram, uh, Chicote should be too.
Do you think um, that they will accomplish making this series for kids, but uh, to get them more interested in Star Trek, sci-fi, and the space program?
Well, Janeway talk about that when she was annunciating she was in the show. She mentioned that her presence in that ship will be used to guide kids and teenagers to understand the values of the Starfleet, of the Federation itself, to value life and honesty and morality, etc., etc. I believe she knows about that. She will be more a teacher than everyone can imagine now.
But I also mean for the kids here in the kids who are watching it. Do you
Yeah,
think they will be more interested in well Star Trek as first, but also in sci-fi and in the space program from, for example, NASA?
I believe so because kids are very interested in their own for 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 the first step. But if we know Star Trek as it used to be, changing the way of your thinking, making you evolve your thinking, make you get uh, better values to pursue, and so we see many people are good professionals today because Star Trek inspired them, and if they are all kids, the effects of that can be very very beneficial to mankind. So this is Prodigy is a very good chance to do that. I believe they are doing the best about this.
If we are looking and comparing the animated series with Prodigy, what are your
Hmm.
thoughts about that?
The animated series was a way to complete the 5 years mission of the Enterprise. They tried to do that, but they didn't complete. Whoever completed the last year mission was Star Trek. Star Trek Continues, and they did great, so beautifully. But the both series have nothing to do with each other. They just try to keep working in the basic Star Trek in that time. Now they are exploring new views, new ways to see that. They want since the Deep Space Nine, they are searching with taste fingers, like if I can say. They are searching for new people who can become fans of Star Trek. In this case, teenagers and people who will see the Prodigy season, um, the Prodigy quality and the complication, the complexity of each character, to understand what Star Trek is, and then go to Star Trek and then try to understand what what is all what does mean to be Star Trek. Just J.J. Abrams like did with three movies that didn't get usual Star Trek fans, but to people have never seen a Star Trek series before, and because those kind of movies, they started to see everything. So here we are, we going step, getting fans, uh, getting people who was never fan before. This is the boldly go thing of the producer of Star Trek.
Okay, let's finish with that. We have just one topic still to talk about, and that is Star Trek Strange New World. Um, yeah, also the trailer, the first trailer that we saw, I really loved it. Um, what do you think about it?
I unfortunately I didn't see the trailer of the Strange New Worlds.
Okay,
I didn't see. Is there a trailer?
there was a trailer,
Oh, cool.
and well, first of all, I think you did see the new uniforms, right?
Yes, I saw a picture.
So, what do you think about that uniform then?
I think it's almost like the first one, and it will work because it's a homage to the first uniforms, despite it is well, the first uniform should be different because in the Cage episode they were different. But anyway, it's a Starfleet. Needs rules to be followed, and and uh, and Pike helped to change the uniform from Discovery style to the Star Trek we know style. So I can't wait many difference in the uniforms, but I'm happy they are following the first ones. At least they are following the first ones.
Is there anything you like to see in this new series of Star Trek?
Well, they warned us that it will be an episodic series. We will see complete stories in each episode. So uh, we can't wait anything else because uh, there will be a surprise, a new catch in each episode. What we are warned to see is a younger Spock, more human than Vulcan, and we should be very surprised by Yuna, the number one. Well,
I
it's a
must
very
say,
it's
she
hmm?
did that already when Spock and she was trapped in the turbo lift. She started to sing, and I was thinking, "What? Una can sing?" And then
Yes,
Spock joined, and then was he was smiling, and I was thinking, "Okay, this is gonna be interesting."
we will know we are about to know very new things about that. You can bet on that because they want to innovate, they want to break paradigms, and some of them I had hearing some hoax about Kirk will be there. Like I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm asking myself too, because in one way it will be a disaster. Have Kirk on a Strange New World because you
Hi.
still need to have recast Kirk again. But
Hmm.
in the trailer that I saw, there are has some new crew members, and they have recast Uhura, and there will also be a ancestor of Dr. Noonien Soon in it. So in one way, I'm very curious how that will work, because they also got that one doctor who also plays the first few parts in TOS. I can't remember his name now, but he also has been recast, and yeah, I'm very curious what they will bring to this series.
As I said, there will be many surprises. We have strange new times ahead. Yes, they are recasting some people. We never knew that Uhura was there already, but here here we are. We are learning about that, and I hope that new trailer can explain more to me. I'm now that I know there is a trailer, I'm searching to it, and we don't have any start date to start the movie, to start the series. We know that Picard is in February next
Mm-hmm.
year, and we know that Strange New Worlds will start next year, but we don't know uh,
When
we
yet?
don't we don't know the date exactly yet. So here we are, challenged by the future.
Is there something you would like to say in Strange New World? Because Strange New World is pre TOS, if I can say it like that. Yeah, before TOS.
Before TOS, we have Enterprise and then Discovery.
I I thought they said Strange New World also before the original series.
Yes, yes, at least 5 or 7 years, because Discovery is 10 years before Kirk, and after 2 years we have we have a Pike and the Enterprise. We saw it, and only the appearance of Pike in the second season was amazing, and that appearance was so strong that originated the new series we are about to see. We have a lot to see about it, and I don't believe it's more than 7 or maybe 5 years before Kirk.
If Kirk will be back in Strange New World, how do you think Kirk will fit in the whole storyline and the crew?
Maybe the first interaction with Spock, maybe uh, Pike as knowing the future. We don't know how much he knows about the future. Uh, Maybe he knows about that, and maybe the mission is to make sure Kix Kix survive or complete some adventure, or we only see a coincidence and see how impressive that young Kirk will be, since we know who he is. So let's do it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this all.
Yeah, it's a very, very excellent moment to be a trekker.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. A lot is happening.
And will happening. And we can't wait for that.
Well, it was nice talking to you again, Mark. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining.
likewise.
Thank you for joining me, and till another time. Listeners, I like to thank you for listening to this podcast. I try to be diverse as I can, and I hope you like it. Tell me what you think how I'm doing with this podcast. If you have any tips for me how I can do things better, let me know. Bear in mind, I made this podcast for fun and I don't have to make money out of it. You can reach out on Podbean, the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, and the Discord server of Arena Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi. And we also have a Twitter account at OTFASP. If you'd like to talk about this episode or want to comment on this episode, you can reach out on Podbean, the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, and the Discord server of Orenda Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi, and of course on Twitter at OTFASP. Orenda Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi is also to listen, follow, and subscribe on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Orenda. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. The next episode we talk about is Doctor Who. This will be a second part of Doctor Who, and I will be interviewing two of my friends, Jonathan and Yako, who are regulars in this podcast, but also a big Doctor Who fan.